Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. It's been a busy week. Some quick updates. My agency is not accepting clients right now from now through the end of the year. Um, Thank you to all of the companies who have decided to do business with us. We're super excited for all of you all's events that you have coming up and initiatives that you have coming up, and we're excited to support you. And as a result, we've decided to put a pause on new clients at least until January, just so that we can make sure operationally we can serve you with excellence. Here's what that means. If you are not on my books yet, if we haven't scheduled a meeting, I would recommend you to schedule one now because we're currently booking for January. And typically, we like to work with our clients at least 3 months prior to their event. So if you're thinking about it, it won't kill you to do a phone call, won't hurt you at all. And there's no obligation for us to jump on a call. But we do need you to reach out to us now just to make sure that we get you in on time. So now that that is out of the way, let's talk a little bit about this event, right? What is the most important thing about your signature nonprofit event? Okay. A lot of people immediately think, okay, budget. Budget is the number one thing, right? Or maybe you're like, no, logistics. The event has to run perfectly smooth. And that is what is the most perfect and important thing about the event. But if you answered either one of those, you are not correct. You are not correct. Budget is not the most important thing. Okay. Logistics is not the most important thing. Important things, but the most important thing is actually being able to have an event that ensures donor engagement and continuity. The most important thing about your signature event is getting people to show up year after year after year. That is your top priority at all times. Because just because you raise $100,000 for this event, right? Or just because you have donors engaged for this event doesn't mean that you'll have donors engaged for the next event. And a lot of times, this is a mistake people make when they're planning their signature event for their nonprofit. It's not enough to just get the people there today. You need to get them there and maintain that level of engagement. So you'll find that a lot of people are simply just focused on the logistics when the whole goal of your event is to increase donor engagement, which guarantees continuity. So there's a statistic out there that says repeat customers, or in this case, repeat donors, actually increase profitability by 300%. They are 300%, 3x more profitable than a new donor. So by keeping your existing donors engaged, you're actually doing your team and yourself a favor. Because if they see why they need to be engaged with your organization, if they see that their contributions are worthwhile, if they feel like they're getting a bang for their buck through your events, through your organization, then guess what? They're going to keep coming back year after year after year after year. And a lot of times, for most people, they're making more money every year, right? They're growing within their career. So if you catch your donor when they're 35 or when they're 40, by the time they're 60 or 70, you'll continue to see that increase in donors and donor as well, right? You'll continue to see that increase in donor income. You'll continue to see that increase in donations, and that'll just continue a ripple effect over time. The other good thing about engaged donors is they also start to engage other like-minded people, which means they become the people who actually attract more and more donors for you. So this goes beyond the initiative of your actual fundraising team and actually helps your team by having people who you don't have to pay for promote and market your events, your services, your organization. So remember, the most important thing about this event is that you have continuity, that you have donor engagement. And so, in order for you to have donor engagement, there's going to be a few things that you need to do. The first thing you've absolutely got to do is you have to have a good pre-event and post-event marketing strategy. What does that mean? Your pre-event marketing strategy has to balance between getting people to actually show up, getting people to register, and for the people who can't show up, actually getting them to donate. Your post-event strategy is all about being able to capture the actual event and the actual data from the event. What does this look like? A lot of times, the best way to do that is in the form of a short impact report for each event. That means after you've had the event, and if you're working with a team like my team, they can actually help you to document how the event is going, not just from picture and video, but also from a numerical perspective, which is going to be super important for some of those corporate sponsorship options that you might offer. Because you want to be able to tell your sponsors what age range are your donors. You want to be able to tell your sponsors who comes to the events, who's supported by the event. So that way, when your corporate sponsors are giving your organization money, or if you're getting federal grants, you have very clear outlined information on what has been the most effective and how you all are actually impacting the community that you seek to impact. So it's more than just marketing before the event and then after the event putting up a simple thank you post. No, there is very specific curated content that needs to go out to these people who are really event stakeholders. Because if you don't have your donors, how are you going to do this? If you don't have your grants, how are you going to do this? And so making sure that you have those pieces in place to continually keep those people engaged is important. The other thing you absolutely need to have as a part of your post-event marketing strategy is your pre-event marketing strategy for your next event activation program, right? Because now that you have these people excited, they've come to your event, they are happy with what they've seen, they're excited about the impact in the community, their question is going to be, what's next? And you have to be there to quickly present them with what's next. And what's next is usually your next event. It's your next program. It's your next activation. So what that means is before your current signature event is over, you have to already know what that next event is. And this is why it's important for there to be both a logistics and a marketing operation within your signature event program, because your marketing organization will help you put all of those dots together. Your logistics team will help you put all the information about that event and the next event. A lot of times, the people who are doing the logistics are doing the marketing, and because of that, they don't have time to think about what's next. So we've got to make sure that we separate those roles and responsibilities and that there is someone there to do both. Now, we talked a little bit about this, but the biggest piece I want you to hear is documentation, okay? And there's a few different ways you can document things. You can document them through photo, through video. You can post those photos and videos on social media, on your website. But the most impactful way is a one-sheet impact report, which you can send to your sponsors within a week of the event happening to let them know exactly how they impacted their community. In this impact report, the good thing about it is you're making the decision maker on your sponsor side, you're making their job easier. What does that mean? They'll like you. They'll want to do more business with you in the future. So if you are an organization that can prove that you're not only capable of executing great events, keeping donors engaged, but also demonstrating to them that where their money is going, something that they can give to the person who they have to answer to, now you become a person who's easy to do business with. And now whenever you have events and they have the budget to support your events, guess what? It's a no-brainer. So that is the most important thing, keeping your donors engaged. And you're going to have to keep them engaged by making sure that you have separated marketing and logistics operations within your signature event planning. And you're going to want to make sure that your strategy is focused on documenting that event, photo, video, and statistically documenting that event. You want to make sure you understand what is social media growth looking like. What is actual event growth looking like? What is the money growth looking like? How many donations did you get this year as opposed to last year? How many donors did you have this year as opposed to last year? And that is where a marketing organization comes in like mine. And so if any of this struck a chord with you, if you're watching this and you're like, wow, I'd never thought of it that way, it is okay. I welcome you to click the link below, or it might be above, depending on the platform, and go ahead and set up that first initial call with me. You'll be asked for a little bit of information, and then based on that information, I'll let you know if you're a good fit for this particular program. But aside from that, I'm so glad you all were able to join me. I really hope this information was helpful for you. And remember, we are not accepting clients until January. So if you have an event next year, I would highly recommend you go ahead, click that link, fill out that form, and go ahead and get on our books now, because we cannot guarantee that will not continue to change, seeing that we're already in October. I look forward to hearing about what impact you're having in the world. I look forward to hearing about your organization, and I cannot wait to work with you all. Bye.